Yeah.
something related I can't broadcast live.
Related to Trabajo. NOFODcast
No,
Trabajo.
you're right. Nobody speaks Spanish.
They'll never know what that is.
You have better off saying and working Japanese would be shigoto, which less people would know.
Shigoto.
Kain shine was it Kain shine Kash. I gotta look it up. It's been a minute since I office worker. It's what I am.
What is the anime with the deer fighting the principal? Because that has been making the rounds at the office recently.
Oh, that shit. Shinoko. That's how you said it. Shinoko is like Japanese for deer. Forgot what. Oh man, my internet's booty hole. Let me get off this VPN.
What happened? Was I doing it with the Mac? Can everybody hear us? I don't think I had a sound check from Rabbit Key.
There we go.
Trying to title these episodes as we go.
Title them. Trying to
I
title
caught
them.
up with the Resistance thing and made a playlist for that one. Chat's working for me. That's good. Marnie. My phone autocorrected to Marnie. Marnie was here.
Like Barney.
Marnie was in that movie with guy. They were trying to go to Branson. He was like a TSA agent. I can hear all of you if that helps. It does. Thank you for confirming our sound check. Huge help. Assess are super small on my screen. There, now he's back. I don't know if it like conserves resources and shrinks people down or what. I don't know what causes that. OBS is funny. I've been thinking about updating it. I'm kind of scared. Considering updating and also scared. Yes, SR's just bouncing in and out, but it always corrects, so I think we're good.
No, I'm having some. I had to turn off my VPN because it's whatever server I was on. It's slow as shit.
Is it working better now?
I just for now for the stream I just turned it off.
Yeah, you're still full screen, so that helps. That's a good look. Episode number 333 of the NOFODcast. Lucky threes.
Yeah, the one you're talking about is Shikano. Was it Shikano Noko Kushitan Tan? Ugh.
It must have been. I must have read the episode title or something because it did not seem like it was that long.
Yeah, it's my dear friend Noko-tan. I think
that sounds right. She's watching the deer kick this principal's ass, and she's like relaying it to the class, but nobody's around there.
I want to say
she's trying to get the class's attention. Brand, have you seen this? Have you at least seen the gif of the principal fighting the deer? It's crazy. He tries to climb a statue, or he goes up a statue and like does a wrestling backflip and falls on his face, and then starts to go back. It's madness. I was like, "Where's this thing going? This is crazy."
Yeah. So the term in there, shika means deer.
Shika is deer.
I gotta be careful because sometimes I get my.
It had Ichi in there, which I thought was one, right? Ichi is one.
Depends on the kanji. There's a lot of Ichis.
I failed then. I failed miserably.
Because like lion in Japanese is shishi.
Lion or lion?
No. Lion. Shishi. Because it's based off the word death, like shine.
Oh fuck!
So they got it.
Oh, you find a lion, it's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, basically.
Lions are known to do that.
But I think that's actually the Chinese pronunciation for lion. I think they just kept it. So
makes sense. They have a blend, kind of like we do, where we adopt stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. The world is a melting pot. Renee's here. Hello, Renee.
Or it's a winding road.
The long and winding road. Hello, Renee. Cannot type tonight. Remy. Hello, Remy.
The rat?
This might be my last show from in here. I've got to rearrange some stuff and make it more conducive to what I'm trying to do.
Oh, I thought you were about to graduate from the show.
This is my last show, period.
Yeah.
Wait, he did mean from in this room, right? No, at all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 333 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game and Nintendo Switch 2 Rumor Mill podcast. I think everybody's turned into one of those, right? That's definitely not us, but we actually have seen the device.
Everybody's an insider.
We've seen the device. Oh man, that was a fun cycle to go through. People are acting crazy waiting for this news. It's the day before they said there would be an announcement. There's no announcement. They're wrong. It's like, no, people. They said the 16th. Wait till the 16th. And it was like what, 8 a.m. because I was on the road. Tonight's news.
It was a shadow drop, right? That's all it was.
Yep.
Essentially, yeah. Just went out. It wasn't like a wait for an announcement tomorrow type thing that apparently people were thinking. Tonight's news.
Announcement of an announcement.
It's always an announcement of an announcement. The announcement just leads to another announcement and another announcement.
And then next thing you know, you're baking the Declaration of Independence in your oven using
lemon for invisible ink. Tonight's news, besides the Switch 2 stuff, more Minecraft, more Microsoft layoffs, a better eShop, ? Sounds like Brant's sailing the high seas with some sort of alternate storefront. We love us an alternate storefront. I don't know what this news story is. Sony canceled 2 live service games. I do know what that news story is. PlayStation Extra and Premium games, and we go over the Nintendo Switch 2 first look. I'm one of your hosts, Richard Bergman, joined tonight by Newsmaster Brant McKee.
What's up?
Brant, great job on the news.
Well done, Brant.
Fantastic. You could have just put Switch 2 in there with no links, and then we could have discussed that for ad nauseum like these other shows.
If they give out Academy Awards for show notes
and Newsmaster,
you would be up there.
Greatest Newsmaster on NOFODcast. Brant McKee.
I'm trying to think of anybody else outside of me.
Of the video, like other people.
The only other person I think that would probably steal it from you is Ron Burgundy. That's it.
I mean, historically with the lore, how old was that? When was that supposedly taking place? He might be not with us anymore. Especially with all the cigarettes he was smoking.
I don't believe you.
He'd still be around, kicking it.
Brant, frame by frame, I might not have ever discovered that the new Mario Kart potentially has 24 players in it. If those internet sleuths weren't breaking down the frame by frame nonsense.
Holy shit.
Possibly 24.
You saw that they were like, oh, old school Donkey Kong's back. And they're like,
yeah.
Yeah, and they were like breaking everything
They
down.
leaned into like the artwork from the Mario Kart series over the years, and like the movie version of Donkey Kong. Friend of the show, Buish and I were looking at that DK, like that's pretty much the movie DK, who is pretty much based on like the original pre-Rare styling of Donkey Kong. And we see this version of Donkey Kong on the same day that their HD remastered version of Donkey Kong Country Returns comes out. Oh.
The third time's a charm.
I've bought all 3, so I don't know. And I think I have 2 copies of the 3DS one.
I have all 3, yeah.
You remember when the guy that was doing his name was Josh something, he was doing all those Kmart deals, the coupon deals and stuff. He moved to Toys R Us very briefly after that. And they had, it was a 3DS XL and Donkey Kong Country Returns free with it. And so this is the one I got for the missus. She has the giant red 3DS XL. With a 30 frames per second version of Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Oh gosh.
Someone we'll touch on the 24-player Mario Kart real quick. Someone mentioned that means there's twice the number of blue shells potentially being picked up on the course and shot forward to unassuming first and second place racers.
Enough for me to quit Mario Kart forever if it was nonstop blue shells.
Like big team battle, Cesar. A big team battle of like 12v12 would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's as we get shot down before we can get dropped off from the Lakatus.
The Lakatus. At least everybody in this game has a vehicle. It's not like Big Team Battle.
Yeah, but we're getting hit by red shells before we even land, and then you're automatically like in 24th.
We're getting spawns. We're getting spawn sniped. They know where we're at.
Yeah. Is this gonna be Warzone all over again? So I can't even land here to get back in the race.
You're instantly in 24th place. Oh, I like the can't even land. That's good stuff. Even in the Mushroom Kingdom, y'all call that like those pod areas, the Mushroom Kingdom.
It's gonna be so bad that you become.
Holy shit! Donate my Switch 2 and Mario Kart and come back to Warzone, free to play game.
Warzone will be on Nintendo Switch too, I'm sure.
Yeah, most
fire up the Warzone app. Don't donate your console. Warzone
app. That other voice you hear, our resident lore master and page master, Cesar Concepcion II. Cesar, welcome. We have a delay on OBS, so I'm gonna keep up with the Skyping a little bit more. I glanced over and thought you weren't ready, but then I was looking at the wrong feed. So, how are you doing, sir?
All right, man. I have a bit of the runner's knee from all that running I'm doing, and so like one of my muscles around the knees locked up and it's like tight, won't loosen up.
That's all right. I have a tried and true method of avoiding runner's knee. It's up there. Running. It's a pretty good solution.
Yeah, I was told to do yoga.
Interesting. Have you started that?
Told me here.
Could you potentially utilize like a Wii Fit balance board regimen? Could you do something like that to go through those stretches and like holding poses and stuff? You're not gonna break it out?
Hell no, that's too much work, man. I'm already angry that I have to fire up an app to load up a 5-minute video, and I ache for the days when I was like 20 years old, jump out of bed and run, and I would instantly heal overnight. It's not happening anymore. So
I have a yoga DVD you could borrow, but we're gonna have to talk about the content of said yoga DVD off air.
Can I follow this? Can I follow the story?
Sure. I mean, there's some lore. There's some lore to it, so it's up to you.
Story's so hard to follow in this questionable video that's provided.
I wonder if I could put my hands on it for a visual aid. I may just send you guys a link and provide some backstory.
Oh no,
I'm good. I will use the YouTube app and I'll put in yoga for knee, and whatever loads up is my new favorite person in the
world. Mine's not far from that, but it's not quite that.
It's like your weird lemon party thing that you used to
lemon party
with. Yeah, the one you used to tell people to Google, like Google something lemon party, and it was just a bunch of people getting down. You started that, yeah. It's like
what? Are you sure?
I forgot what it was.
This is your Cesar the Hedgehog thing. You're trying to deflect onto me.
This was you, man.
What the fuck is a lemon party?
It was some weird shit like that, and I was like, "All right," I thought something interesting, and I was like, "Man,
I don't know if I've ever even heard of this. What the hell is a lemon party?"
Look it up. You'll find out.
Renee said about that yoga. That sounds questionable.
Yeah.
I'll send the same link to Renee when I find it.
Brant knows what I'm talking about.
If you're finished with Lemon Party, you can look up this video where these girls make a giant Stanley Cup. It's called Two Girls, One Cup.
God, I don't think that's what happens. It's not that type of cup. You mean like the hockey trophy?
Yes.
Lemon Party. I don't know this lore. Is that the name of our episode, or is that going to be like an undesirable? That's an undesirable bit.
We should not do that.
Party of lemons. 2 blue shells. I'm trying to see what avoids this.
24 blue shells.
24 Mario Kart racers drop on an island.
I mean, if you Google it, this was all you, but if you're gonna Google it, Google Lemon Party, and then if you look at the first 2 options, like there's a Reddit thread where people talked about just learn what Lemon Party is.
That might be my method of attack. I might have to investigate that way. No. Renee sounds like he wants to do yoga with you, or is it going to be a group?
Yoga.
No, we says when life gives you lemons. I honestly don't. I don't know what this is. Maybe I'll be reminded when I find out whatever this is. Fine. Do I look? I don't know how was I known for spreading this when I don't recall. Renee says 2 girls, 1 shell. So I guess we're all sticking with this. I guess we're all sticking with this theme.
Oh, Renee's also famous for saying 5 guys, 1 burger. So
yeah, just learned what lemon party is. One question, why?
Oh no. That's fucking terrible.
I see some people dressed as lemons on a cruise. Is that the reference?
No, God, no. You're better off there.
That's
There's people asking me to vote for the lemon party.
That's it's a political party in Canada. That's not it either. So.
Oh, it's a Canadian thing? If only we had someone in the chat that could elaborate on some Canadianisms.
Milk in a bag.
I've had milk from a bag. Cesar, you grew up in the same educational system I did. Do you remember the bagged milk? Came in a clear plastic bag. You would like jam the straw into it like a Capri Sun.
I strictly grew up in the carton milk with the missing children on the side.
Brant, you don't recall the bag milk either? Big coolers full of looked like what breast implants, and it was either chocolate or vanilla.
It sounds like a fever.
I would.
It sounds like a fever.
It's not. I remember drinking from it because.
You remember when you woke up and you're sweating from your
sure,
dreams?
Possibly. Kids would put the straw in the milk bag and then like slam their hands down on it like Spock style and shoot out of the straw like it was a tank.
I'm waiting for Murmy or Buish.
There's an age gap. There's an extreme age gap related to this question.
Murmy, Buish, please save this man because he's drowning and I have no idea what the fuck he's
Fine, I'll find that when I find my yoga DVD and I'll also send you the bag milk picture. This is exactly what.
This man's drowning.
I'm getting nowhere with lemon party, so I'll have to look that up later on.
Please do.
I'm not fever dreaming. This is something I had in school. It's exactly what it looked like. And you poked your straw in the pouch.
I've never seen it before.
It looks like they're about to poke a colostomy bag with a straw.
Are you sure you didn't? You sure you didn't go to a school system that was based in?
I drank from one of these
illegal activities. That's disgusting.
Probably a chicken sandwich that I would have consumed back in the day looks just like this.
I did not eat that either. I think the worst I had was like those weird squared pizzas and the French vanilla salad dressing that was orange.
French ranch.
French ranch.
Vanilla. Also, as our favorite archaeology professor would tell us, X never ever marks the spot.
Brand, you seen that before? Never. I've never seen it before in my life.
All right, I got to figure out. What school system I was in when this occurred.
Ancient relic.
Here we go. More Microsoft layoffs.
The only school system ever.
We're deep in the nonsense weeds. More Microsoft layoffs. Microsoft makes layoffs across several divisions, including gaming. This comes from VGC, VideoGamesChronicle.com, and Tom Ivan. According to Business Insider, the cuts will impact employees in the Xbox makers' security, sales, and gaming business. A spokesperson for the company reportedly said the layoffs were small in number but didn't confirm a figure. The latest round of layoffs are separate from performance-based job cuts Microsoft made across departments last week. Oh, well, good. Renee says he never had the bag milk. Those cuts will affect less than 1% of its employees.
That's right. Everybody, Renee,
sound off in the chat if you had bag milk.
I think we got fed an AI image. Richard just AI generating things.
This didn't happen.
You must. Sure, you didn't live part of your life as like Stranger Things. They put you in like one of those weird hospital schools.
I levitated and like went in upside down and everything.
Yeah.
You sat there and Googled lemon party.
That's what I'm doing here. Why would that be a simulation?
He's having deja vu. That's what did it. It all flooded back to him.
You're over here like Matt. You're over here Googling bag milk. It's the thing I never even thought existed.
Okay. Well, maybe it caused my my health condition because nobody else has my same health condition and they never encountered the bag milk.
Good.
You gave it to me.
That's fair. That's fair. I can't argue that. That's fair.
Guinea pig.
Yeah, I guess. Did I fever dream? I didn't fever dream this. I experienced this.
You need to go to a thread that's like a Georgia Reddit thread. And it's like, do you all remember
Where
this?
did you go to school? Yeah.
And then see
what years?
Yeah, sound off.
The Microsoft cuts will affect less than 1% of its employees, which numbered 228,000 at the end of June 2024. Quote, at Microsoft, we focus on high-performance talent. A spokesperson for the company told the site, we are always working on helping people learn and grow. When people are not performing, we take the appropriate action. Good God. End of quote before the good God. Microsoft's head of gaming announced last January that 1,900 staff will be laid off across Activision Blizzard, Bethesda, and Xbox. At the time, Phil Spencer claimed the decision was ultimately the result of a lack of growth in the games industry. I'm sure which they helped cut. Hopefully, the individual who was honored at the Game Awards can help relocate some of these people in the games industry, should they want to continue in such a fickle industry. Next up, Better eShop. What the hell is this?
This comes to us
also from Tom Ivan.
Yep, Tom Ivan. Are you tired of that cluttered, nasty eShop with all those disgusting clone games and mobile ports and
we are.
And random hentai games everywhere?
No, not those.
Then you need the better eShop. So this was something that is brought to us from Nintendo Life.
They designed this. Very cool.
Yes. They kind of asked a bunch of their, readers, followers, and everything, what improvements they'd like to see made to the store. Most requested features included content filters, better discoverability, user reviews, faster loading times, shopping cart, and music.
Music, I'm in. Is it the Wii Shop music?
None of these sounded particularly difficult to us at Nintendo Life, so we decided to build a new and better eShop ourselves. The better eShop was built in under a week and offers most of the aforementioned features. Yes.
Did he find it?
So, Richard, you can also change the music. Yep.
Why would I?
You can change the music through various iterations of store music that Nintendo has had. They have content filters and things like that. You can actually see how much of some of those things that I just mentioned, like weird mobile ports or the odd cloned games, are on there. You can turn them on or off. It loads a heck of a lot faster.
This is dope.
Because it's not overburdened. The way it works is, you can go through and shop like normal. Obviously, this is not something you will have on your Nintendo Switch. You have to do this on your computer or on a mobile device.
Like I just did. Look, there's a Nintendo Life review at the bottom of this listing for E's memoir, The Oath of Falgana.
But yes, the games even have user reviews and things like that as well.
I'm assuming they get affiliate link money? Like, what's the...
I guess.
Or it drives people to their store, no. webpage?
So what it is if you go to purchase a game, it actually redirects you to the Nintendo shop page.
Do they get a kickback, like an affiliate link kickback from that link, like Wario style or whatever?
I don't know. I wouldn't assume so. That's probably how they are getting around actually
awesome.
Building this.
And it's super fast. It's snappy.
Oh my god. No way.
You're a fan? Oh, my music's gone.
No, just go to recent releases.
The Golden Eagle.
And then go to the recent releases. Go to the second column.
Things Too Ugly. 7 down.
Go 7 down.
The Jackbox Naughty and Nice bundle. How to start yoga. Yoga beginner's guide. To be announced. We don't even know how much it's going to be, and it came out yesterday. How does that happen?
But yes, this is the better eShop. Something we didn't.
It 100%.
know could be done so easily.
It's so fast.
So yes, if you got a minute or two, and heck, it's worth checking out. Nintendo Life doing the Lord's work over there, cleaning up the eShop.
They really did. Good news find, Brant. On the side, I've got home, filters, recent releases, discover, current offers, charts coming soon, buy eShop credit, and about. Super Bubble Bobble. I just remember those guys. The Wednesday eShop update.
Yep.
What a good bit.
Mm-hmm.
Good find. All right. Moving on. Sony has canceled. If this will actually cancel. Sony has canceled. I'm looking at a McDonald's ad. Sony has canceled 2 more live service games.
Announced and immediately canceled.
Sony has canceled live service games in development at Bend and Bluepoint. 2 of the studios we want to know what they're up to, right? This comes from Chris Scullion at VideoGamesChronicle.com via Bloomberg and Jason Schreier. Bloomberg's Jason Schreier reports that Sony canceled live service games in development at Bend Studio and Bluepoint Games, a report which was confirmed by a Sony spokesperson. While Schreier's article doesn't describe the games in detail, he then took to Blue Sky to confirm that the game Bluepoint was working on was a live service God of War title. Sony's spokesperson confirmed that both games have been canceled, quote, following a recent review, unquote, but stressed that neither studio would be closed down as a result of the cancellations. Quote, Bend and Bluepoint are highly accomplished teams who are valued members of the PlayStation Studios family, and we are working closely with each studio to determine what are the next projects, end quote, they told Bloomberg. Bend Studios' last game was Brant's favorite game of all time, 2019's Days Gone. Wow, that was in the article. Which had released to a mixed critical reception.
Brant's favorite
He
game
even has a 2-pack of it, as we mentioned last week's episode.
More Days, more Gone.
Yes, one's in 2K, one's in 4K. Days Gone 2K. The studio posted a job listing in March 2024 looking for a lead project studio with hands-on game development experience and leadership roles, shipping AAA live service games, end quote. PlayStation acquired Bluepoint in September 2021, almost a year after the release of its last game. A PS5 launched a remake of Demon's Souls. Brent, you streamed some of that back in the day, didn't you?
A little bit.
Did you ever go back to that? Any desire to?
I hadn't. I mean, it was pretty good. I liked what I played.
The studio hasn't released anything since then, though it did provide support work during the development of God of War Ragnarok. Sony's success with live service games saw extreme highs and lows last year. VideoGamesChronicle.com notes, Helldivers 2 was undoubtedly one of the surprise success stories of 2024, selling 12 million copies across PC and PS5 in its first 12 weeks. On the other hand, Concord, which sold 2 copies to me, has to go down as the biggest failure of last year, with Sony pulling the game from sale and taking it offline within just 2 weeks of its release. A tale of 2 live service games. One which was infinitely more fun than the other, even though the other one was quite fun still. Did I skip a story? No. That eShop one is just going off in the background.
You're doing it.
We got 2 left.
You're doing it.
Yeah. I'll let somebody grab the PlayStation game catalog.
But I mean,
yes.
Update.
Honestly, Sony wasted. I say wasted. Everybody's been speculating what the heck Bluepoint's been working on. The studio that's known for their remaster remakes. Everybody's been.
They don't have a dud yet, right? They have like impeccable track record.
Everything's been awesome that they've done, and we've really, really been wondering what the heck they could be making. I know a lot of people thought, one of the Metal Gear Solids, or I think Legend of Dragoon was even thrown out there. There was a few other things that people were kind of throwing out their wish lists, and just come to find out it was some kind of God of War live service.
And I think they said they did some support for Ragnarok, right? They were a help studio for San Diego before that. So who knows, man? Free Bluepoint.
Yeah.
Make them independent again.
But I mean, they did this exact same thing with Naughty Dog, where they looked at what they had for the live service, and then kind of, who knows if they didn't like what they saw, if it just they didn't like the implementation or avenue of how they were trying to push the game along, or they looked at the fact that they said, well, both of these studios are really good at what they do, and we want to continue trying to do the first player, like, just narrative driven story. But if we push with these live services, these studios are going to be tied up with that pretty much indefinitely. So,
and at the end of the day, we look at it and we bitch about it, but on the top of those charts for specifically for PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam is but usually live service, right? So
yeah, but it's those certain ones that rise to the top. It takes a lot to break into that. It's been the same ones for 3 or 4 years now.
I do not disagree with you, but as a soulless corporation, you don't care about that.
Also true.
Because unfortunately, unless I mean, there's only one game that sold 12 million copies, and it was Horizon Zero Dawn. So that was the only single player that hits 20 million.
It's so surprising to me that Horizon is that big of a hit like that.
And the second one, I think they said was nowhere near the first one. So, yeah, that's why I don't think they care about doing.
Is that why the first one keeps getting re-released over and over? PC remaster.
Yeah. I mean, you saw from Yoshida that Shuhei, he said on there that the reason why they're doing those remasters was to pay for AAA development because the cost has gone so up. I mean, at the end of the day, we need the bus, man. We need the AAA
I think we
bus.
talk about it every week. I didn't read that Shuhei interview. I saw some cool things came out of it, though.
I'm about to say there's some interesting things.
Yeah. He said he's pushed back on the live service. He joked that's probably why they took him out of first-party studios.
Put him on indies.
He said,
so he's gone, right? That's why he kind of had this Famitsu. Was it Famitsu interview?
He's out of PlayStation. No, kind of funny. It was a video interview. He's out of PlayStation, but he said he wants to stay in the gaming industry. So it sounds like he's going to probably show up somewhere like Sean Layton did. So
maybe not as.
I of course had to read the whole thing that he was talking about the Vita.
What did he say? What was the news about the Vita? Yeah, this could have been another article too.
They removed the video out just to save a couple cents. They said all Vita had HDMI out.
Yeah.
No way.
He said it was. He said that taking out the video out was he didn't agree with, because like he said they did that as a cost saving measure, but he didn't understand.
It was cents on the dollar. He said it saved him.
But yet he did say that in the grand scheme of things, the rear touchpad never lived up to what they originally pitched to them and showed, and honestly just ate the system up with extra cost. Obviously, he acknowledged that the proprietary memory cards were a very large issue.
Bad. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I gotta watch this. I gotta listen to this.
And it was the support. He was like, it was just they didn't have the backing, and
this, like Brant said, I think he said that it was at a weird spot because they had PS3, Vita, and then PS4 support, and they said their studios were spread too thin. I guess there wasn't that many Vitas out there, so they didn't allocate the proper support to.
It's the Wii U thing. It's the cart. It's the cart and the horse and the chicken and the egg. Like,
which is he also mentioned. He mentioned the Switch and its success. He goes, it's probably due to the fact that they consolidated their whole market. They just went ahead and they were like, well, we either keep doing the handhelds, and then we have our console, but it's it's kind of making everything. Why don't we just combine them? And they've obviously had great success with it.
But even we've talked about it was fun in the days of having like a DS and a GameCube at the same time and seeing those different experiences.
Or playing Game Boy Advance games on your GameCube.
It was fun to get a portable Uncharted. That was like a really cool experience.
Still phenomenal.
But I guess that is the epitome of the Switch that it saw through, right? Like it's portable console gaming, and now we got Windows handhelds and Steam Decks, and all that sort of stuff. Friend of the show, Buish bought a new one of those like retro handheld things called the Trim UI brick. If y'all seen that anywhere. The screen on it's gorgeous. You know, I'm a stickler for screens, and I looked at that screen. I was like, ooh, I like this thing. Looks like a Game Boy Color with 4 shoulder buttons on the back.
I think I've seen some of the advertisements on Twitter.
Yeah, they're pretty cool
every so often.
Alexa's just reading something in there. I don't know if y'all could hear, but she's just like going off reading. She's reading some statement. And
no, you're good.
What's happening? Like a prepared statement. Man, I do love I love that. Sony does handheld so well. I love my Portal too.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine it'll get better if they dip their toes in the handheld market soon.
That's the rumor.
Here,
so if one of the big things is that it's dividing studios and stuff like that, and you just have a smaller version. You were already doing it for like PS5 and PS4 crossovers. You do that PS4 version for this handheld, supposedly, maybe.
I mean, your biggest thing you have to do is optimization, right? It's possible. I mean, look at Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. They got it running on Steam Deck verified. They got it running on high quality graphics cards with DLSS enabled on there. It's even more powerful than they have on the Pro. So it's like this is probably the first game on PC that I've seen from Square Enix in a long time that's highly optimized for a lot of different devices. So I mean, if you do that, I mean, you can pretty much put on
DLSS, right? And was it FSSR or FSR, and what's PlayStation's version? Yeah. PSSR. Back in the PSSR.
Yeah, PSSR. Yeah.
Back in the PSSR.
There you go. Yeah.
Those are gonna bust that door wide open, where you don't need the heavy compute power and you don't have to spend a whole lot of time optimizing it for a separate device and things like that. Even the Series
device,
S, it takes flack, but we're gonna look back and be like, it proved that you could create lower quality versions of things. Yes, monkey humping GIF on the screen. That's good stuff. It's random. I don't know where it came from.
It's always there,
all right.
man.
PlayStation Plus extra and premium titles. That's what we're on to.
Yeah. So, all right, for this month from Adam Mitchell on PlayStation.
That's not our usual. Oh no, it's the Xbox.
We have
Megan Spur. Yeah, the Xbox.
Yeah. So, in your Plus and extra premiums here on your game catalog, you have God of War Ragnarok finally joining, as well as The Man Who Erased His Name, Like a Dragon Gaiden, the spinoff with Kiryu. Atlas Fallen Reign of Sand, which I think was on Game Pass pretty much all last year. SD Gundam Battle
Player
Alliance.
co-op online. What is this Atlas Fallen? I feel like we've discussed it before, but it never sticks with me.
It is. Yeah, I've played it on that ROG. And
is it Monster Hunter-ish? Is
Game
it
Pass.
Souls-like?
It's a big mixture of Monster Hunter with Souls with not Elden Ring, but Elder Scrolls, stuff like that. It's a little bit of mixture of all that kind of stuff. So you have Sayonara Wild Hearts, Anno Mutationum, Orcs Must Die 3, Citizen Sleeper, Poker Club, and then Richard's PlayStation Plus premium games of the month will be Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings, and fucking finally Medieval 2 has been mentioned.
Do I get to buy Staff of Kings separately? It has a co-op mode to it.
You gotta get that Staff of Moses, man.
Moses wasn't a king. Oh, it does say it's the Staff of Moses. King of the Bulrushes. Oh, Medieval 2. I feel like we get remakes and sort of ports of that first one forever. This is the first time. I don't own this one physically. I have the first one.
What's the PSP one that had that weird?
I think it was a mix of both. There, yeah, right? It wasn't a straight port of the first one.
So yeah, finally Medieval 2 after a remake, PS1 port, a PSP port. We are getting Medieval 2. It's finally acknowledged. It's coming up to the lineup. And that is your
key thing with Medieval 2 is that you'll get all the benefits of that retro stuff they're putting out. So from the blog, up rendering, rewind, quick save, and custom video filters. of which one Rant Baki fooled me on with his Legend of Dragoon screenshot last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that rewind is essential. That thing is awesome. So is a quick save.
I don't think they ever released Medieval 2 right on the PS3, right? I think this is the first time.
I feel like I would have.
Seems like it, right?
I feel like I would have that.
I was about to say, I don't remember it being released on PS3.
I don't think it was. I think this is like the first time in a long time Medieval 2's been
fired up, but it's hooked up to my capture card, and I'd have to switch over. I have my HDMI switcher that just came in today. It would be a perfect thing, but I can't look right now.
How dare you not?
I know. I never knew I would have had to cut on the PS3 during the show to check something in real time.
I can confirm if Wikipedia is correct, it has not left the PlayStation. So
that is awesome.
This is the first time.
Good title. Good throwback game. Last but not least, there's an ad on this page. It's from VideoGamesChronicle.com, but we all watched the trailer, and I think we can kind of break down. It's kind of stuff we already all saw, right? But maybe our audience has not touched on this. Yesterday morning, 8 o'clock, the Nintendo Switch 2 was announced and officially shown off. It looks exactly like the renders that leaked, down to the color scheme, down to the logo. It is Nintendo Switch 2. It has a numeric 2 next to the Switch logo you all know and love. At last,
finally,
they, how the Switch, like, they locked in the first ads, and for the first console, these kind of clip on the side, like the magnets were confirmed, and also the optical ports. Looks like an optical port on each side.
Yeah, they had. There was a little bit of the trailer there where they like clicked on the little hand grips and almost like drove the mouses around. Drove the
as somebody jokingly said on social media that it was look, Joy-Con drift.
It drove the little Joy-Cons around like they were like a computer mouse.
The Mad and the Furious Joy-Con drift. Renee don't know about that Joy-Con drift.
Oh god, Renee stopped playing the Switch because
finally confirmed the damn thing.
Yeah, it's everything. The system is larger. Their Joy-Cons are larger. They've got that kind of weird U-shaped kickstand.
I think that's like the one on the OLED. I never used the Switch.
The OLED
in that configuration.
is. I'm pretty sure it's a full
flat back
portion.
It's better than that little thin thing from the. I never use it, so.
Trying to remember what else they had.
Showed off some Mario Kart, though. I think that was the biggest.
I was about to say, at one point they did have some Mario Kart.
It looked like to be Mario Kart.
What appears to be a new Mario Kart.
Also, would be 9.
Everybody's speculating that it's new Mario Kart because it looks like there's, what we say, 24 spots.
Yeah, 2 blue shells.
Character models have kind of shifted. It looks like the Mario and Luigi kind of look like the models from Wonder, and the
I think they said. I think to add what Brant said, I think somebody said it has like the impression of like an open world, kind of like a la like Diddy Kong Racing.
I wonder why nobody had ever really like tapped into that same, or Crash Racing was the same way. Was it Crash Team? It's not Crash Team Racing.
Yeah, CTR.
That was the name of the. That was the name of the first one. I'm not thinking of like okay.
Yeah, you're thinking you want to say CRT.
I always got CRTs on the brain. There it is. Brand McKee has his copy. Crash Team Racing.
CTR.
That's a good kart racer. So was Diddy Kong Racing. That's pretty solid too. No price. They're going to show us more on April 2nd. They're going to do a Nintendo Direct focusing on the console, the hardware, and the software.
That little C button was kind of like nulled out.
Still nothing.
Yeah. They did note that backwards compatibility with physical Switch carts.
I loved seeing that part on there.
Digital, of course.
Loved seeing that on there.
With a little note that said some Nintendo Switch software may not be compatible. Stay tuned for more information. And I think everybody assumes that about 99% of the Switch stuff will be compatible. It's probably going to be Labo, right?
Labo checks out. Any of those things they made, like
Ring Fit, probably not.
Yeah, Ring Fit might be one of those.
Because the Joy-Con doesn't click in. Well, unless the Joy-Cons pair.
Yeah.
If you can pair Joy-Cons to it, then maybe
make those forwards compatible for those certain titles.
Possibly.
Or I'm sure Nintendo would be happy to sell you a brand new ring that fits the new Joy-Cons. That is maybe backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Or, play the old cartridge on your new system with the new ring. I was hoping for... So today's 117, and I meant to send this to you guys, but the rumor of Halo coming to the Switch? This 117 is Spartan 117 is the Master Chief. That would have been a crazy announcement the day after they talk about this thing to say that some sort of Halo or Halo collection or something like that is coming to this new device. That'd be funny. Which would back up. I saw another rumor saying that the publisher most supporting the Switch 2 that this person has seen has been Microsoft. Y'all saw that too.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, that could have been Halo. Just announce it today. That would have been awesome.
I saw that, and I also saw endless stuff on social media sites where people were showing their Switch to the TV with the Switch 2 and show they're going to be replaced. Which I thought was funny.
Wait, what was going to be replaced?
I missed part of that. Somebody took their Switch and was showing the Switch 2 revealed to the TV, with their Switch showing what they're going to get replaced with.
Your day is almost done.
Yeah, your ass is gone. Yeah,
that's kind of sad. I don't know.
I think there was something else. There was somebody had leaked some other Switch rumor stuff too, kind of like what Richard said. I think that in that thread going around about Microsoft being a huge third-party supporter for that device, probably the biggest one. I think that what was the other ones that was going around, Brant, that they I think they were going to re-release Breath of the Wild on there. That's supposed to do like a updated version of that one at a higher resolution. I think they said that some games were going to be backwards compatible. We're backwards compatible. We're going to upconvert to 2K.
That would be awesome.
1440p.
I'll take 1440p.
So I think they said the launch date games that somebody supposedly, and this is a rumor and nowhere near true.
We like rumors.
Where he has
we like some rumors.
So I think he said it was Breath of the Wild 4K, Mario Kart. The new Mario Kart doesn't have a name.
That's immediately your killer app. Yep. It's your best seller for both the Wii U. That's your best seller for Wii U, and Switch, right?
The last two are Namco ones, believe it or not, was Tekken 8.
Okay. That's a strong lineup. One of the best Zelda games ever made.
And it's supposed to be sometime in June.
New Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Fighting game.
People are looking at that because there is a hands-on event happening, or there are several hands-on events happening around the country. Here, North America, in the regions that we're looking at, would be New York, LA, Dallas, and Toronto, I believe, were the locations. And you have to basically sign up. It's like a free thing, but it's kind of like a lottery.
It's gonna be a raffle.
So
the Vita Social Club.
The Vita Social Club was awesome. That sold me on the fucking Vita. I wish we knew Brant could have taken Brant. He would have dug that too.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Which one are we going to? Cesar volunteered Chinese Taipei is the one the event we're gonna head to.
Taiwan. Let's get it right.
Taiwan, Taipei.
Yeah.
Or Paris. We'll always have Paris.
I'm trying to get that Taipei in before unfortunate circumstances where that country gets scooped up by another country. So I'll allow Ukraine style, which is apparently on the books to happen soon.
Is that where you want to go try out your Switch 2 first off?
I would love to visit Taipei before.
What are games like there?
Nation takes them.
Do we know what licensed games they get, or if they have their own consoles?
They have a Nintendo. They have a Nintendo office.
I would assume so with them having an.
They're not under the Chinese regulation. Let's put it that way. So they can release whatever they want. So let's put it that way.
I follow this Threads account where this guy goes to book offs and I can't remember the other, recycling, like Goodwill or Second and Charles that we have here, and he just finds stuff like PS2 controllers, PS3s. It's just it's just old cool stuff. And I texted us earlier. I was like, man, I just want to be walking around Japan, going to game stores. That would be amazing. Please let me go. All right, Cesar sent us the.
I saw that earlier too.
What is the? It was covered up a little bit on my side. Is it just a magnet popping in? What was the cartoon showing?
So,
I can't click it during the show. It fucks everything up.
Yeah, it's somebody did a little drawing, and it's like a new fear unlocked, our biggest fear with the Nintendo Switch 2. And so the Joy-Cons, they, like we said, they magnet on, but there's obviously like a little portion that physically plugs into the console. And
it's like a NES like cartridge.
Like pins
in there.
Yeah, there's pieces where the Joy-Cons clip in, and they're on the console side. It's a little part that protrudes and plugs into the console, so people are afraid that they're gonna somehow missing.
The cartoon is them saying at the bottom, saying, "Oh no," as the part on the console breaks off and you can't use anything on there anymore.
But I would assume that's why those I don't even know what to call them, because you have the actual Joy-Con and then you have what used to be the rail piece. Yeah. That piece seems to be a lot more further extended to where it
like a buffer.
Sits snugly in there, and wasn't that button on the back of the Joy-Cons to detach.
It's supposed to release the magnet. Yeah,
I'm assuming that whatever functionality, Nintendo has thought about that. So
I mean,
I'm not going to put it outside of the realm of possibility that it could happen, but it would be extreme. Like, you would have to drop it, or you'd really have to be fighting with it and trying to break it in order to do it. I wouldn't think just normal gameplay, normal wear and tear, that it would just pop off, snap.
We're not going to do that, but there's those people that threw their Wii controllers into the TV, and there's a shit ton of kids that are going to be playing this. This is going to be a huge thing for...
And that's why they had to sell condoms for those Wii controllers. So
I have a couple of the Wii remote condoms.
But outside of that, I think the only other thing the video announced was that we're getting a Nintendo Direct software April 2nd.
April Fool's Day. So wait for all the nonsense on April Fool's, and then.
So we got a couple more months. We got about almost a little under 3 months before we get any idea what it's looking like. So we're with the guess, it's like April for the Direct, and possibly with a launch around June. I think part of that rumor on there, they said that the console is going to be $399, but they said the final price has not been decided yet, because if there are tariffs put on certain locations for building, they said the price could go up to $499 for the console.
$100, golly.
So they're looking at. They said it's going to be, if the tariffs go through, it's going to be $499. They said if it's not, it's going to be $399. So
I prepared my co-financial partner for the possibility of another console purchase this year. When's the last time you got one?
I mean,
it's been a while.
You got 6 months, man.
Yeah, and it's
be fine.
The back catalog. I think we all have a pretty decent Switch back catalog that maybe if the software's not super compelling, I mean, Mario Kart's a day one, right? But if the software's not super compelling, the prospect of playing my back catalog of Switch games with better performance is definitely promising.
For me, I think that's right now. I'm interested to see more. I typically like to buy day one, but I don't. It's like you guys said. I would need to see launch lineup, and I would need to see if there's any improvements on older games, right? Stuff that have, like you said, I have not played. That are like, you know what, fuck it. If I don't have the ability to play it on another console I'll own or on PC,
right?
I'll throw it on this thing, because it's still 9 times out of 10, based off what we see on that device. I mean, some people have said it's underpowered, but it's way more portable to bring than it is a ROG or a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
It's easy to throw. It's thin. It's easy to throw that in the bag versus taking out that second Nomad monster of a Steam Deck, which I love to death, but that is like that second Nomad monster of like the claw.
Oh, it's so comfy in my hands, though. I love my big handhelds now. I love them.
It works. But I feel like I'm a fucking 11-year-old sitting in the waiting to get my car serviced in the waiting room as I pick out a huge ass Steam Deck. So
I don't think the Game Gear would have been so maligned if it weren't for the batteries that it ate. It would have been a lot more, Yeah, you take out your. I guess we'll go into games played from there, right? Do we want to touch on any more Switch stuff?
No, I think that's all. We don't know anything else, right?
Or wait
at this point. It's still way
April
early.
2nd?
They're gonna trickle feed this stuff. They love doing this. We're not gonna wait till April 2nd. They're gonna trickle feed.
How many more? I'm about to say, how many more leaks are we gonna see? Is somebody gonna force their hand and make them release
exactly?
I mean, they kind of force their hand with the hardware, right? I mean, it feels like this is still super early. It was very bare minimum, like, hey, this is what it looks like because we're tired of people looking at mock-ups. So, I mean, the only thing they can control now is the games, right? So long as those don't leak
Mario
out.
Kart looks good. I'm excited to play some 24-player Mario Kart. That just sounds like a good time.
It's been what? It's been 10 years since we had a brand new Mario Kart. A little over.
We got add-ons for 8 Deluxe and 8's DLC, but that core game is the same one that came out 10 years ago.
8 is essential Mario Kart, right? That's probably like if you were gonna give somebody Mario Kart to play, that would probably be the one, right?
I've thought about buying that. Was it UAE version or something that has all the DLC and stuff on the cartridge? I've been tempted for that, but we have the Nintendo Switch Online service. It pretty much gets us that content, anyways.
Yeah, I keep seeing that one and what the complete Metroid Dread on cart.
Is it VGP is selling all the carts with the most recent patches on them?
Yeah, complete on cart. Yeah.
Nintendo's pretty good about that stuff until those storefronts shut down, and then I don't know if you're getting updates like that. Remember the mad scramble to get the Xenoblade Chronicles X DLC before that became inaccessible?
So, yeah, I mean, at this point now, the good news is, like y'all mentioned before, the eShop is, all the digital games are playable, backwards compatible on this, so that worry is elevated for this coming next generation, at least, right? We just got to hope they don't shoot themselves in the foot like the Wii U thing, where you lose a lot of your fan base because we already got a Wii at home, as Brant would say. Why do we need a Wii U?
We already have a Wii at home. Why would we need the Wii U? Do you think they did fine with, like, Switch 2 as the moniker?
I think it's better because you put a 2 on there, means
worked
different.
Okay,
right?
For PlayStation 2.
Naming convention helps. Yeah.
Is that the only one that's done a 2?
Unless you're, I think so, because I mean, even people joke about the Xbox 720.
There's a Magnavox Odyssey 2. Atari numbered theirs. I mean, we did have Xbox One. We could have had Xbox 2. God, they've been trying to break away from that Xbox One thing for a long time. Oh, speaking of like 10 years ago, that's when Xbox hit their stride. I was reading an article like Rise of the Tomb Raider was coming out, Gears Ultimate, Halo Master Chief Collection, Halo 5 was coming. What's that?
Rare Replay
announcement. That was, they like took off. That's when I was like, okay, the Xbox is serious now. This is some good shit. Backwards compatibility was maybe the year before that, and they were starting to add stuff.
And you saw that this off topic, but you saw that they announced that Evo's
I did
have
see that
on there, right?
Yeah,
as their secondary on there, which it sparked rumors of that being multi-platform shortly.
Good, it should be
possibly.
Killer Instinct belongs on a Nintendo platform. That's kind of my thoughts on that. Right? Am I wrong here? A lot of people's core Killer Instinct memories. I mean, that would be a huge seller. I think. Like,
I played a lot of Killer Instinct on Super Nintendo, so I could never find a copy of the gold one on 64.
Would you want to play fighting games on that D-pad though? That makeshift. It's still going to be that like weird button pattern D-pad.
I am okay playing Killer Instinct 2 on my Xbox
with the D-pad, or use the analog stick.
Series console.
Yeah, it's going to be weird on the that Joy-Con thing because they still have those funky arrows. But I'm hoping maybe the accessories are forward compatible. You can plug in sticks and all that stuff. I've got a Hori.
You hope, right? I mean, well, majority of like the Sony stuff is what Nintendo stuff is what Bluetooth.
Yeah.
If not, and they were
or it just plugs into the USB ports on the dock.
Pretty compatible with everything.
And they even
shit, I can use my USB headset for my my wireless USB headset for my Sony. Works on the fucking.
That's Switch, right. They added that.
They've been pretty generous on the drivers.
There's a USB port on the outside of the Switch dock also, right? That's like more easily accessible, like on the top.
Up top, USB-C. Yeah. It's interesting. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm going to contain my
new hardware is always
exciting.
I think
they will. they will have sold me on it if I do see enhancements on gameplay, unlike previous games that I have. I be more inclined to buy day one versus at that point if I don't see stuff like that. I'll probably more what is the launch lineup.
Do we know for sure it's an LCD? Have they confirmed that?
It is.
It is an LCD.
I was on an OLED high horse for a long time. I still prefer gaming on that here at home, but like the PlayStation Portal screen is gorgeous, and it's not an OLED. I played a great bit of Final Fantasy 16 on that, and there's a lot of scenes with like the Phoenix and boss fights with Bahamut and stuff, and you've got solid black backgrounds, and it's just inky black in the background of that LCD on the Portal. So, done right, it could be an awesome screen on this thing.
I mean, you just know it's probably coming since they've already done it once. There's probably going to be 2-3 years into the life cycle. Oh, look, it's the Switch 2 OLED.
Yeah.
So
a bundle would be nice day one. Some sort of launch title bundled in would be very cool. Even if it's like, maybe that's how they do the tariffs, like put a $50 SKU or something in premium in there. Get Nintendo Land and an extra 24 gigs of storage on your console by getting that SKU.
Yeah, I was trying to find that rumor mill from somebody who was on there that's going around, but I think that's what they were saying. That I think also when you play games in handheld, it's supposed to upconvert to 1080p on the older games too. So
that would be enough
with the AI.
That would be enough of a boost.
Yeah. I can't find that thing because I think somebody had taken it down. Somebody keeps taking that rumor thing down.
Was it on Reset Error or something?
Yeah, like every time I see it, then somebody takes it down. Like and then the guy keeps putting it back up. It's like, if it stays up this time. So.
Man, there's already PlayStation 6 rumors bouncing around.
Oh yeah, with the new AMD chipsets. I think they just confirmed that I think AMD has confirmed that Sony had said they're going to use that technology. So
Microsoft just kind of chills and moves along. Jeff Grubb says he was told Sony's latest cancellations of Bend and Bluepoint's live service games happened because of Concord.
Yeah.
Oh, ouch. Jeff Grubb is an insider and usually knows what he's talking about, but that doesn't mean this is factual.
Still waiting on his promised Wind Waker Twilight Princess HD collection that they've been sitting on for a long time.
I'm tired of them beating that drum. I'm just not even dealing with that anymore. I have access to both of those games on multiple systems, so it is what it is. Yes, I would buy it if it came out, but I'm not.
Richard, I would bet you if that Switch console comes out in June, they will fart that out in May, like May 15th. They're like, oh, here it's this. Just keep waiting.
That'd be a good pack-in.
Keep waiting.
Be a good pack. Yeah. Oh, you're saying for the current Switch, we get a collection like that.
Yeah. That way they don't have a lag in sales, right? Because I mean, they said the shares have kind of already fallen for Nintendo already because they said some people were disappointed. The investors were disappointed on the Switch 2 reveal. Because I mean,
yeah, they shot up and then they also came down.
Yeah, so I don't know. Because I think there's some concern because they didn't want another Wii U disaster, which was like more of the same type thing, and they didn't differentiate the differences. So I think it's kind of concerning because they just did basically was a concept trailer, right? That's basically what it was. There's no stats, there's nothing on there with anything how it plays differently or nothing like that. So.
Yeah, but we saw the thing, and this isn't their big unveiling. Like that whole, you go back and watch that Wii U E3. I was excited because I saw new software, right? But they still they never showed the system. We didn't see what the actual box looked like. We had no clue what that was, and it fucked up messaging from day one.
Yeah.
For those who weren't, especially for those who weren't on the end, like we all bought a Wii U, right? Because we knew what we were getting. We knew what experiences we wanted. Somebody walking in the store either thinks they're just getting a tablet or that's our joked earlier. We have a Wii at home. We don't need this. We don't need this additional thing. Even with it having backwards compatibility and upscaling a bunch of that stuff and using your Wii remotes going forward, like there were a lot of consumer friendly things about the Wii U at the time.
Backwards compatibility with the original Wii game.
Yeah.
So,
you have a Wii U game T-shirt on right now. That was a launch title for console.
Famously, one of the last ones that EA supported on that console.
Yep.
So,
and the Batman game came there too, right? Both of the Origins and Arkham City. That was such a weird time. They definitely course corrected with the Switch. I don't see this being another Wii U scenario though.
No,
the Switch
the two there makes a whole bunch of difference. Yeah, that's what investors, man. They just care about the money. So I think differentiating it with, I mean, you put a 2 on there, it's great and all, but I mean, I think when they come out and they do the selling points about like, why should I buy this? What's going to make any difference? Because I mean, look at this. We have fucking people still buying PS4 games. We make that argument every week on this podcast. So that's going to be the problem for the Switch for a long time, because there's over 100, almost 130 million people have a Switch, right, around this world. So like, it's going to be a lot of Switch-based games for a long time. So next couple of years,
a lot of stuff on the eShop. Hopefully, some stuff that comes to Nintendo Switch Online with the new consoles also coming to people with Nintendo Switch Online with the original Switch.
So we're going to have that weird transition period on some of this backwards compatibility, instead of a clean break where it's kind of easier. So.
Yes, we will. There will be something for everybody, though. Let's move on to games played.
I'm excited about Richard losing Warzone on a new console. So
I'm not going to download Warzone on anything. I'm thinking about deleting it on everything.
Oh, God. I'm buying you a cartridge version. If they make it, I'll send it to you.
Please.
Oh, gosh.
Thank you so much, Warzone cartridge. It'll be the most useless cartridge ever. Right. Live service game cartridge.
It would be bad if I send you a digital code for it. I mean, if you at least have the cartridge, you can like secretly trade it in. Like, yep, the box is right there. Like, don't look inside.
I got it, Cesar. I'm still hanging on to my gift. Thank you for my gift so much.
The box.
Don't look at the box.
He'll do the googly eye trick.
Yeah.
The cartridge is floating around here somewhere. It's around here somewhere.
Cesar, shake it. It's in there. Yeah, it's in there. Put it back on the shelf.
Don't open it.
I wanted to make sure it stays safe. Don't open it.
It's in there. It's my favorite game. I never take it out of there. It's googly eyes and a magnet. Like some sort of weight.
I warned before Richard starts. I warned y'all, man, because I think I'm starting to see on Reddit where people are getting googly eyes from Amazon orders. Yep, and Target, Walmart. Yep, they're coming everywhere now. So open up your games. Open up your games.
I got Donkey Kong in, and I haven't opened it yet.
So open up your games, man. At this point, we're just better off just ordering straight from Nintendo.com. So for the physical copies,
until they start getting swapped out.
Then we have.
It's got to be somebody at the warehouse level.
It's a distribution to the retailers. It's not a retailer issue. So. I
mean, they're gonna get tired of losing money. They're gonna start cracking down on this stuff. As Roadie delivers me another Best Buy game, I'm paying these Roadie people.
They banned. Yeah, they just fucking delivered Donkey Kong Country Returns yesterday to me. I fired that up this morning. So
they brought it to me too. The missus wants to play it. We used to play the Wii one a lot back in the day. I want to try without the damn motion controls and blowing into the microphone and shit.
And actually play a 2-player version that's not on the portable console. That makes it super difficult.
Yeah, or shaking the remote to rumble it, make Donkey Kong pound on the ground and shit. It's a good game.
When I fired it up, they got a modern mode too, so it's not as difficult as well. So
yes, it gives you an extra heart, I think, from what I saw from coverage. There's some performance hiccups with that. It doesn't run as well as the Wii version. There's some weird performance hiccups, and the coverage that I was watching from Digital Foundry, it's more of a port. It's not really remastered very much. It's really just kind of upscaled. Like the assets haven't had much of an overhaul at all, and
I think that's why they smartly called it just Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. They didn't put remaster in there. Yeah,
right.
This is the HD version. That's it.
Right. I didn't put that together.
Yeah.
This is Forever Entertainment, I think. The people that did the Panzer Dragoon remaster that was decently reviewed.
I think we're still waiting on the second one. I think they announced they were doing the second game.
There was another game too.
But now they stopped doing that. Now they're doing House of the Dead 2.
Interesting.
Which just got announced, 2 days ago?
And that's Forever Entertainment also?
House of the Dead 2 remake. I believe so. I think that's the 2 second properties they have. I think they may be working on the front mission ones.
I'm trying to remember what this other game was that they did a so-so. It was a so-so reaction to whatever this last one was.
Man, I just want to fucking do Panzer Dragoon Saga. Stop fucking around.
Right.
Lost the code. Yeah, there's the.
It's built you up. As Brand will tell you, we have a great emulator running on the Cotton Sega Saturn version.
Yep.
Just drop the ISO.
All that Saturn tribute stuff that they have.
Drop the ISO.
It's running that dang Saturn.
Richard, I can solve the problem for them. I got a Japanese copy of Panzer Dragoon Saga. I gave it to them. They can just drop the ISO.
I have the English one. I have the English one they can have. They can compare the two.
We got them covered on both. Yep. Brant, go buy the European one so we get all three.
I got the Japanese one too as well.
No, Brant, go get the European version. Stop being a bitch.
Cesar was Front Mission. That was the series I was trying to think of. It was
the Front Mission. Front Mission.
Yeah.
Front Mission 2 was like a very badly made, so I'll just say a heads up to everybody.
This one or the original?
This remake. So I think they kind of fixed it. So if you guys wanted to buy the limited run copies, the physical copies, that should have all the fixes on there. I bought the not great version, which was the Japanese one, and which was very broken and required many patches.
Front Mission 2.
But they're also remaking Front Mission 3. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm gonna blow through games play because this was so news heavy.
No, take your time. Talk about every game you played.
I mean, it's not a shit ton, but I tried to segue from the giant handhelds when we were talking about it. Cesar was getting his oil changed and playing a giant handheld. I was at a doctor's appointment and took the Ally with me to kill some time potentially. I usually am in and out of there, but they sent me to another department and I had some downtime and I was like, I'm glad I have this thing. So queued up Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. This is a remaster of the 2011 game. And just played like 3 or 4 races and I was having a lot of fun with it. The Ally's cool because you can like bump up performance if you need to. There's like a battery saver. There's and the Steam Deck has this too, but the Ally puts it in their menu and it's just out there. It'll be like quiet mode, turbo mode, and it just basically is like how much draw it is on the battery to give you power to run these things, right? And so I'm pretty sure I had it on ultra settings at 60 frames per second with that high battery draw. And it was beautiful. I couldn't believe how good it looked on a handheld. I was like, holy shit. And I played 3 or 4 races and they called me back to check on something. So I hurriedly just threw the Ally in the case and threw it in my bag. I hit the top button. I thought I put it to sleep. But they sent me back. And I got it out to check it, and it had stayed on in the case, and it was like super fucking hot in that case. So I've got to learn. I'm used to the Steam Deck, right? You just tap the power button and it goes to sleep mode or whatever. I've got to see what it is with the Ally because it did not do the same thing. It was fucking cooking in that case. It was hot, and it scared me. As soon as I did that and checked that, a kid came and sat down like maybe 4 feet from me in the waiting area, like facing me. And my seat next to me was empty. And usually I just got my eyes dilated and shit. And I'm pretty, if somebody's going to watch me play or whatever. I don't think it happens that often, but just like thinking back to the day when I had a DS or something. I did not want this kid all up in my space. So I just put up I didn't want to draw attention to myself essentially. So I just kind of put that thing up. And then a couple of days later, I downloaded the Wi-Fi on this thing is way faster than my Steam Deck. I guess our Steam Decks have like an older Wi-Fi. I don't know if it's Wi-Fi 5 or what, but
the OLED's model has the new 6.
Oh god, it's drastic. Because I was like, man, I'll start downloading Halo and I'll see the Halo that Cesar has never finished. I was like, I'm gonna start downloading this and see.
I'll beat it on PS5. I'm waiting for Brant to play it. I'll leave the person who destroyed my
or Switch 2. I'm never gonna play. And
can't trust that person that ruined my
ruined your playthrough of Halo 1 Combat Evolved.
If Brant betrays me, I'll sell every game.
It's not meant to be.
I'm not meant to be to play any.
All right, Brant, you have one mission. You know what you need to do.
Murder my ass.
Throw a grenade, and we don't make it out together. But it's like I think the first game's like 10 or 15 gigs. It's not huge. And I started it. I was like, well, I'll take it in there. And I've got a Steam Deck dock that has like a cradle. So you set it down in there. And I've got Ethernet going straight to it. And then like USB-C just clips onto the top. And the Ally fits right in there the same way. It just works beautifully. I just kind of interchange them. Because I told y'all I'm stuck on Legacy of Kain. And I can't get out of it. Or I'll lose the battle. Or I have to restart and like work my way through. Because it doesn't have modern save points or anything. So I'm stuck on the Steam Deck on Legacy of Kain. It's like dedicated. It's just stuck there. But I set it down. I intended to go in there and plug it in the dock, and it just roared through, like it ripped through that whole download. And I was like, holy shit, that's fine. And that has 120 frames per second mode, which is what I wanted to see on the Ally. And it is beautiful. I had to knock down the settings just a little bit. It wasn't drastic. And I fired up, it's got cloud saves and God bless cloud saves. Remember back in the day when we couldn't do that?
And then I don't want to interrupt too much, but before I forget, and you're running it on turbo mode.
Yeah,
right?
For certain things. I told Bran about Need for Speed. Yeah. Like Need for Speed was a solid 60 at like medium and maybe high. And then I bumped everything to ultra and turned on that turbo mode, and it was buttery smooth, man. It was clean. But I heard those fans. The fans were like, fans were going.
Yeah.
But Halo, did I have to turn up Halo turbo mode for 120 frames on Halo? I don't think I did. I think it's well optimized enough to just.
Because I think you have, 13 watts, and I think it's like 20 or 19 watts, and then it's like 40 watts or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
And it eats some battery when it's in that turbo mode.
Oh, turbo mode kills, man. Oh, yeah.
So I tinkered around with those two things, basically, and then we all played some Halo last Saturday night, and still enjoying it. We're going to do it this Saturday? We're going to switch to something else? Maybe.
We're going to spin us on Halo. If we start early enough, we can fuck around and do like something different, and then it's like by like 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. do the Halo runs. So I mean, if we start at like 8, we can probably get another couple games in there and try some stuff to find something different. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Last but not least, I don't know if y'all wanted to touch on any Halo since we all played it. I'm continuing my playthrough of Resistance 2. I think I have one more chapter, maybe 2, but I'm at the very end of this game, and I've got them all categorized on YouTube. They're all in a playlist. You can pull up. It's a lot of fun. This game is really, really good. It's different. I don't know if it's more reactionary to like a Halo 3 or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, but
to add to what you're saying in there, I think Killzone was the same way, right? Resident Evil 1 and Killzone, Resident Evil 1, Resistance 1. Excuse me, sorry, I'm looking at a copy of Resident Evil 1 right here, and my mind drifted. Resistance 1 and Killzone 1 had that whole, like, it felt kind of like empty sometimes, like when you go back to it now compared to when you played before, and you see like the set when you play Killzone 2, it's like like they bumped everything up, like they kind of like went over the top. I think so. My example is I'm trying to give here, like Resistance 2 seems to be like, all right, we kind of address some of the like the deadness in that first game, which like it's win or lose, right? Because you're the same way, like you prefer Breath of the Wild versus Tears of the Kingdom because you prefer those quiet moments, or you prefer some of that stuff. So some people prefer that, but I prefer Tears of the Kingdom because there was so much to fucking do in that game. I was always discovering shit and story beats and stuff like that were not intuitive enough for me in that first game. So, and
the story, this is a better video game, I would say. I'm enjoying the moment to moment, but the story has fallen off because they're trying to get you from that moment to moment, right? There isn't the downtime to build. I mean, there's still dread. It's a fucking survival horror game. I don't know. Every time I try to compare the two, they're two totally different games, but I'm fucking loving every minute of it. It's good.
I'm so excited for you to play 3, man. 3 is so good. 3 is so good.
Yeah, I want to get to 3. I wish we could still co-op it. That's the thing.
Why not? Why can't we co-op it?
Servers are dead online, and I don't think it's couch co-op. Would love to play couch co-op, and it might be simul view with the 3D display. That would be the ultimate way, but there's no way to stream that one unless people watching in 3D on the. I guess it would work.
I'm gonna do like those old Fox Married with Children episodes. Like, go get your 3D glasses from 7-Eleven. Watch this episode of Married with Children.
That's just with that's the passive 3D with like the blue and red lenses back in the day. But Resistance 2 is awesome. I haven't decided what I want to do next, streaming wise. If I want to stick with PS3 or I've got shit tons of PS3 content I could go through.
Play the new Animal Crossing on PS5.
My Anime Life or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I saw that shit. I had to send it to both of you. I was like, what the? It's like, this is straight.
I watched some video of it. It's absolutely Animal Crossing. The moose is in there. They move around the same way as fucking Animal Crossing. I don't know how nobody's come after them yet. Has there been an update on that?
It comes out in 2026 is all I see. We'll see if it makes it.
It's not making it. Did you wish list it?
I did. Yeah, let me know as soon as it's been canceled.
Oh man. The game you talked about last week is on sale on Steam. I sent that to you guys. I think I'm gonna pick that one up. Bakaru. From Game Freak. Is that who I saw it was? Good.
No,
good feel.
Feel good.
Feel good.
Good feel.
Good feel. Feel good.
I want to always call it feel
it
good.
Is good feel.
I when I played it again, it's like it is like feel good sounds kind of dirty, and I was like, were they actually call themselves feel good? But
and that's the Yoshi's Epic Yarn people and stuff.
Yeah. Epic Yarn people, yeah. It's kind of like I guess they did their own thing. Like you saw that Chibi Robo spiritual successor where they're not even doing anything with Nintendo. It's like they're doing their own thing. That's them too. It's like it's another company, but it's a company who did the Chibi Robo. But they broke off Nintendo. It's like that. This feels like this would have been a Nintendo game. Like the more I play it, it's like it's very like in that vein of like early like GameCube, Dreamcast. It was like one of those wacky games that is surprising that it got a released over here because it actually released digitally on the Switch. I think they got a physical copy for the Switch coming out later on this year. But it's like it's one of those ones like it's too eccentric. Like it wouldn't find it's very niche.
Come on, we need more stuff like this. That's why I'm going to support it.
It's like but yeah, because it's Spike Chunsoft, so it's like they do those type of games, right? It's not something you would see from Nintendo's. What I'm trying to get at here, so I don't think Nintendo
not anymore.
Would put all that. Yeah.
But that is it for me, games played wise.
All right, for me. I think I've still been playing. I'm still playing Fantasian Neo Dimensions.
I saw Brant added it to his wish list on Steam.
At this point, I'm in the city of Venice. Vince, I want to say Venice, but it's Vince because it's water. So Leo and Kina and Cheryl, which is all part of your party now, they are investigating a way to get to the capital. So they can get to what Leo is called the toy box, which is something his father has built. It's like a base where he's trying to regain his memory. And so half of Vince, the east side of it, I believe, is taken over by machines. So there's a mini toy box over there because apparently these toy boxes are from his dad. They're scattered throughout the different cities. And so he wanted to go in there and find some more, find a way to jog his memory. And so at this point, I'm not going to go into any more detail because at this point you're starting to get into more of the story, and there's some interaction with some of these characters that kind of intertwine them more of their destinies and their past and stuff like that. They're more closer than they are. They're not regular strangers.
There's an earlier payoff. You don't have to wait till like disc 4 to find out this.
Yeah, because I'm almost at the halfway point in this game. So remember, this game came out on Apple Arcade. It was part 1 and part 2. So I'm almost at the halfway point. So it's taking me 20 hours to get the complete part 1, basically. So I'm almost at part 1. Bam, I think the villain in this story, I said he was like a 6-armed Sephiroth. Now that I've seen him again, he looks more like Vincent. He has like the goth look. And
Vincent Valentine.
Like Vincent character. Yeah. I'll send you a photo after this. I won't do it in here. So there's some good story beats on here, and there's some like motivations that this machine world, like there's 2 dimensions connected together. And so the premise of the story, and I won't go into the background of the stories because I think if y'all play it, it's very well done. I know you would enjoy it, Richard, because there's a lot of stuff on there with sisterhood, daughters, that kind of stuff in there. Like there's a lot of that bit in there that you could probably relate to pretty well. That they kind of like, a lot of games don't do that, but there's like they hit something different on that game. They have like a good story beat on that whole part on there. But it's like essentially they're sending these machines into this realm that all these characters are from. And these machines are stealing emotions, like they're stealing the life force and emotions from the people of that world and sending it back to the machine world dimension. And they're trying to avoid looks like a black hole is going to go off into the machine world, and it's going to all wipe the whole. And it's all machines there. This is all alive. It's just going to wipe everybody out. Basically, yeah. So the metal, they call the metal, metal Tyria. But so like they're trying to, like Vam is supposedly trying to avoid it, but he's like still in life and emotions from that world, which is causing a negative effect on there. So it's like you're getting this whole thing like, I don't know, he's the bad guy, but he may not have bad intentions. He just might be doing it in a bad way, type of thing. So that's kind of where it's at now. So I mean, nothing's really changed gameplay wise. So there's a story beat where like everybody's kind of separated, like they always do in some RPG. So you have half the party go into the machine world against their force, It's their will, and then you have the main character Leo, who's trying to find his way back to him because he can't jump dimensions like that. So I think that's the part I left off. And now it's not. He's trying to figure out how to go and save the rest of his party that's stuck in that world. And that's pretty much it. I think I haven't had much time to play anything else. I did play some Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, but not enough to actually speak about anything. I did want to bring out a simple fact that I do want Richard to purchase this game here, which is a Freedom Wars just came in, so we can actually play the multiplayer.
I saw VGP had it back in stock, is what Wario said, but it wasn't. I went straight to it. It said sold out. I was gonna jump.
It keeps selling out. Yeah. And here's a quote
Can we just
from the back.
On Vita together?
It says on the quote in the back, "You're convicted from birth for the crime of living."
Like a million-year sentence or something.
But I don't usually do games played that much. But I did get Brant's favorite, and I'm just throwing Brant under the bus and get Brant's favorite Ninja 5.0 that came in. And then, of course,
is that GBA game? Super expensive Game Boy game?
Konami one. And then my million copies of Tales of Grace also came in too. So
don't get that on Switch. 30 frames per second on Switch, 60 on everything else, including like Xbox One.
120 on
PC, right? Up to 120 on PC. Mm-hmm. So I hear that one has an amazing battle system, but the story and characters are just kind of ho-hum. You would be proud of me. I've done a Tales deep dive here recently.
The story is kind of ho-hum. Yeah, it is not. There's not as like one of the people I watch online. I love, and Brand might be different. I think Golden Wind is my favorite JoJo story arc out of the whole anime series. I like Diamond is Unbreakable, but a lot of people say Diamond Unbreakable is not good because the quote unquote there's not a lot on stake.
Which is what? Series. What is Diamond Unbreakable?
So, it's JoJo. It's another anime reference here. I'm doing this because
wrapping back around to Tales.
So there's not a lot. There's not a lot in stake on that. That's what they could describe on there. So I'm trying to transfer it to what you're saying about Tales of Grace F. There's not a lot at stake in this game. It's like it's probably the tamest of the stories of all the Tales.
Low stakes.
Like, what am I doing this again for? Yeah, it's a low stakes thing on there. So
which is the best? What is the best Tales to dive into for the best first Tales?
Symphonia is still my favorite, even though I think that's like it's so funny to me, and I've said this on this podcast before, because Symphonia is so adjacent to Final Fantasy X. There's a lot of stories on there. You protect a girl who has to go through these gods and get powers, and is essentially going to sacrifice herself. That
sounds a lot like 10.
Premise and story. And you have the main character, who doesn't know all this stuff and just think they're just going to play along and save them. But then when they find out, they're trying to change that person's destiny. It's came around the same time, very similar storylines. They just go about it differently, which is funny because that main character also interacts with his father, who's a dickhead. So
more daddy issues in the game.
But yeah. But Tales of Symphonia, Tales of the Abyss. I always have a fond place in my heart for Tales of Xillia. So I do like Tales of Xillia a lot. Those will probably be my top.
I think
3.
Abyss is my most played one.
Abyss is really, really good. Vesperia, for whatever reason, Vesperia is good, but I don't have it's not a fond place in my heart for like some people.
Someone told me 20 years ago if I did not buy Tales of Abyss, we'd never get another Tales game.
And we didn't until Tales of Grace.
I did my due diligence. Yeah, Legendia came out after that, right?
I think, yeah, but I don't know if that counts. It's like a fighting game.
Good.
So the battle system was more of like a fighting game versus a RPG one. They took some people from the Tekken games to make that game. It's like they were trying to do something different at that time.
So some people out there probably really love that style. It lasts a good Tales game. Make more like Legendia.
100%. Yeah. 100%, man. But yeah, I mean, I think
Cesar, maybe stream some of that. Would you stream some of that? The new Tales game?
I can. I played it before because I think I've read the reviews. Like if you go to you guys have frequent RPG site, they kind of like re-reviewed it and they kind of rated it higher. They felt like it's aged better than what they remembered it, and they said that the porting of this game from the PS3 version to this one is way better than it was with Symphonia, which was done poorly from that Romanian studio.
Mine is sealed for some reason. I looked to see what I had on PS3 Tales wise, and I pulled the game out, and I have a SKU that says used, like it's got the GameStop sticker on it. It wasn't EB at that point, and it says used or pre-owned or whatever, but it's sealed. Like I have a factory sealed copy of Grace's F, and I was like, that's weird. I guess I just never opened this, and it was somebody must have said, hey, we have a used one that's still sealed, and I picked that one up instead.
I don't know, man. I had my fun with Grace's F. I'd never actually complete the after story, which I fell off for me because then it got weird because there was aliens involved, and I was like, I don't know how any of this happened, and I was like, I just never finished it. So yeah, but yeah, that's it for me. I don't want to take up too much time. I know we've been here for a minute. I'll disclose this over to Brent to wind it up, and take us down this winding road.
Brent, bring us home. The long and winding road.
Not too much as far as games played, aside for some Halo with you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I did continue playing a little bit more of Legends of Dragoon. We did storm the prison, rescue the king, Albert, and then that took us to a castle to fight the evil Emperor Dole, who is like Albert's uncle or something like that.
Ooh, there's a conflict there.
It took me a while to get through there because there's a whole part where you have to go through the castle, and to open the door you have to like go around and you have to find these like 3 stones. There's a fight with Kongol again. He shows up. The Giganto dude.
Oh, I remember fighting. I fought him once. He comes back.
Yep. Yeah, he shows up. He's like, Giganto don't lose twice, and he's wearing like this really elaborate armor.
Does he talk like Hordor?
Yes.
Don't lose twice.
I'd have to look at the dialogue, but he's like, yeah, Giganto no lose twice. And stuff like that. He talks very simple. And
first himself in third person, that type of person.
And then you
my favorite kind of person.
From there go to the big fight with the Emperor, who winds up. You fight him, and he goes, okay, well now I'm gonna get serious, and he activates his Dragoon power. He's gotten a hold of a Dragoon spirit, and he proceeds to be a son of a bitch. And I did not have enough healing items, I guess. And
you weren't ready.
The thing about the rewind is it only goes back so far.
No.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, screw this. Let me just rewind and go all the way back to the beginning of the fight. I was looking at the rewind as far back as it would go. And I'm like, oh crap, it won't go back any farther.
No.
Like, oh shit. So I'm like, all right, well, let me forge through, and I got him down to where his health was red. And
damn,
just absolutely destroyed me. I'm like, oh, well, that's fucking 20 minutes of my life.
And you think even rewinding, you can deploy another strategy and take them?
I tried to rewind and see if it was like random generated, and if it like was already set in the code as it unfolded, and he kept doing the exact same thing. I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm gonna survive. It's just, there's nothing.
It wasn't something you did like, maybe I pick this move instead of this move. You need those healing items. Do you have a character that can heal?
Yes. Yeah, in this portion, like Rose, she has a Dragoon magic that can heal you. And then Shauna, the Dragoon spirit that she gets, is a full-on like healing Dragoon spirit. Her, like, all of her magics, for the most part, either do healing, like bring somebody back, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it wasn't enough.
Damn, Brant.
I'm probably just gonna like grind a little bit, try and get the level up maybe 1, and buy a shit ton of healing items and see if I can just squeeze it out.
Brave it again after
maybe,
that.
And maybe, I was about to say, maybe do a quick save before the battle, like right before I initiate the battle. That way I can just immediately load up.
Revert back to that if things go south.
Yeah. Since the rewind didn't do it for me.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Last but certainly not least, the games acquired for this are behind me. I'm kind of see them sitting up there on the TV. But this,
yes, let's go. I've never seen one of these in real life. Oh, it's beautiful.
So what you are looking at is a Sharp Twin Famicom.
Twin Famicom. It has a Famicom in it, and what else?
It has the Famicom able to take the regular cartridges, which is their version of our NES, and then they also have what looks like a little floppy disk port.
Beautiful.
Which takes Famicom discs.
Beautiful.
Which was something that never released over here. The Famicom disc system was something they touted, where a lot of your cartridge games had passwords and things like that. The Famicom disc system, the games, the Famicom disc could support more storage. You could actually save on the actual disc.
They were rewritable. I was jealous of those stations where you would just go buy a cheaper version of the game and let it rewrite on your disc, and you would have new games.
There were several of those where you could literally just buy the rewritable disc, and for a small fee, walk into 7-Eleven.
Amazing.
Pop it in there and get a new.
You get a couple extra channels of sound. I think it's like 4 to 6 extra channels of sound. So like, and they're on the Nintendo music app, so you can go in there and listen to like the Metroid theme versus the Metroid disc system theme. I'm all up in your conversation, Brent.
No, you're good. I only got a couple of regular Famicom games.
What do you have access to? Because I maybe could help flesh out that for playthroughs.
Well, surprisingly, what I picked, I didn't even do it on purpose. They're 2 games that are based on 80s anime.
Cool.
I have a Dragon Ball game.
Oh.
For Famicom, and a Urusei Yatsura game.
I don't know what that one is.
You've probably seen the character from that anime.
Lum is everywhere.
Yeah, Lum is a very recognizable character.
LUM?
Yes.
LUM.
Urusei
Yatsura.
Other than that, I actually also do have Space Invaders coming.
I think they, Richard, they call it Those Obnoxious Aliens in America. I think that's what they called it.
I don't know if I've ever seen this green-haired person before.
Really? Usually she's everywhere.
Is the show good?
Oh, yes. If you are interested, I have... Oh, duh. I literally could have grabbed it right here.
Everything is within reach. Brent has everything in access from his chair.
They recently remade it, and the remake is actually really good. So if you're interested,
was that on Amazon or something?
Yeah, I believe it was on Amazon is where I purchased it. I can't remember which where we watched it. I can't remember if it was Amazon or Crunchyroll.
It's High Dive.
I'm intrigued.
But yes, I have Space Invaders coming. As far as another Famicom,
let's go walk around Japan and buy video games.
There's Famicom disc games that I have. For some reason, the shipping on those is taking infinitely longer.
Please stream some of this too. I would love to see some of this.
I'm looking at Ice Climbers. Ice Climbers is pretty cheap. As far as Famicom, but let's see, the disc games, I have the Mario Bros. 2, the actual Mario Bros. 2, which was Secret Levels over here, is what we got it as, or Lost Levels. Lost Levels.
Mm-hmm.
And Zelda 2. Thought I had the original.
Another classic. I saw a lot on eBay, but it was like $200 for like 5 or 6 games.
I'm looking at the original Legend of Zelda for the disc system, but they the discs for the disc system are actually, they're kind of, some of them are kind of pricey. So
Metroid's expensive.
I'm about to say
Metroid is like $50 or $60.
From what I heard, Metroid was one of those games. It was locked to the disc system. It like originally was disc system only. That and
they didn't think some of these games could come to cartridge, like Zelda. They didn't think Zelda could fit on a cartridge.
But yeah, I got a decent price on the system. I think it was like $150 ish. It's very clean. It was already said that they replaced the drive belt for the disc system, which I did a lot of research, and you yourself had told me, hey, make sure you get one with a replace belt and replace capacitors and everything if you can.
Yep.
It seems to be.
Have you plugged it in yet?
I have.
Did you need a power converter at all? I feel like they have weird power going to them.
No. Well, they do.
So,
they take what was it? 7.5 volts is what they need, but they gave me a power adapter and some composite cables. But
for the US.
Yes, but I'm probably going to get some different ones just because these are very short. They're only about 3 feet.
Composite cables?
Yeah.
I might have some 6-foot ones or something around. Just remind me.
And the same thing with the power adapter. But the power adapter literally accepts anything from 100 to 120 volts or something like that, and then it only outputs the 7.5 volts that it needs. So
you're good here.
Yep.
You played it for an extended amount of time?
Yeah, I played around a little bit on that Dragon Ball game and a little bit on that the other Yosei Yatsura game, and those seem to be perfectly fine. I'm really excited to see how the disc system games work and if everything's good, which it should.
Do you get the tune? Do you get the disc system tune when you boot to that? Do you boot to the disc system menu? Is that how it works?
Yeah. So there's actually a part at the top here, and you change to the
nice.
And
I like it's beautiful.
Go back.
I like it.
Cassette. That says cassette. What's the other one?
Yep,
disc. Yeah, disc.
Okay. It's very cool. Because I think the GameCube startup sequence like the Famicom tune sped up or something?
I'm trying to remember.
One of those. It's that Famicom disc system tune was recycled in something. Obscure Nintendo trivia for 400. Oh, stream some of this. I want to see y'all streaming Tales, and I want to see some twin Famicom. Brand, I want to see that one day. I have never laid eyes on one of those.
It's cool. I mean, there's a couple different variants. The regular ones are kind of like that black or kind of blackish, like charcoal.
They look
gray.
good, but that red is gorgeous.
The red there's something about this red.
Kit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's just
fantastic.
Popping. It looks so good.
It's fantastic. So when are you getting your Panasonic Q, and when are you getting your PSX with DVR support?
At the same time, I get the what is it? The CDX or whatever. What was the
Oh yeah, the Sega CD with the
Sega
Genesis
CDX
cartridge in the back. I got a JVC XI. That's probably my most obscure.
All of those things are so expensive. It's not even funny.
The Sega CD side of the XI doesn't work. I think
Really?
it needs a recap. We're getting into that age on these things. New caps is going to be paramount.
Well, now there's we live in a beautiful age, sir. You have ever drives and little cartridges and everything that you pop in there, and they just run the Sega CD games off of the cartridge.
Off the cartridge.
Just like I've seen the there's a couple. There was a brand new it's not an EverDrive. I forget the Summer Cart, something like that. I think it's what it's called, but it's for the N64.
I have looked at these.
And
it plays the Nintendo DD games.
Plays the Nintendo disk drive games off of the cartridge without needing anything else. And I saw somebody specifically do the F-Zero stuff with it, and it looked...
And build some tracks with it and save.
Yep, it looked pretty dang cool.
You might have watched the same video I did. That looked awesome.
Yep.
I have one of those in my AliExpress cart along with a Saru, the Sega Saturn. Basically like a beefed up version of our Sudokai. You don't even need the disk drive in there.
Send me...
Pseudo Saturn is what I meant.
Send me a... SD card and I'll load it up because I have that Saru thing.
You have the Saru?
I don't have the Saru. I wanted one. Or I wanted the Sadiator. That's what it was.
Yeah, that was the first thing we talked about. The Sega Saturn, just since we've had this podcast, the Sega Saturn has had leaps and bounds because remember that guy was reverse engineering the video card port of it? Mm-hmm. Now you don't even need that. Yeah. It's crazy.
And that's the thing. That's what I was looking at was the Sadiator that plugged into that little video cart. And
that's it.
I've got literally there's homebrews, there's all the manuals, prototypes, USA, translations to English, Japan, and these are just random folders that I have on my computer here. There's nothing specific about these that have to do anything with anything in particular.
BinQ files?
Yep. Menu.bin I see on here. ARpatcher.bin. And
back when we were a decent organization.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm excited by this. Love the Twin Famicom. Love Tales of Graces F remastered. I want to see some of this SSR. Convince me. It's that Dragon Quest case, right? I want to see the new Dragon Quest. There's 11 that I could be playing right now that I've never played before. And I could play Symphonia. Been playing a lot of first-person shooters. Maybe I mix it up. Play a little something different. All right, is that it for us this week? We're just rambling about video games. This is what we do. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.
See you.